spend a lot of time in HR departments. Someone will come up with a new idea, a new program, social media, using temps, contingent workers. And routinely what you'll hear from HR people is, we can't do that, it's against the law, or we might get sued. There's nothing that pisses me off more than people who have no law degree, have not even taken a law course, know nothing about how the way that compliance agencies operate, screaming out something that's blatantly probably not true. So when people scream like this, my normal response is, there is a term in the business world for what you're saying we might get sued. It's called risk analysis. But people in it are trained, they use statistics, they have numbers, they have sophisticated knowledge. They don't make idle threats. When you make idle threats, you hurt our image because people say you might get sued. But you never said when you're going to get sued, how much you're going to get sued, the odds of winning, and what is the cost of being sued compared to the cost of not doing the program. The first recommendation is, instead of you open your mouth about you might get sued, say the probability of being sued is 10% or 20%. Business people understand probabilities. Next, always calculate the ROI, even if you win. So what if you won the lawsuit, but it would take a lot of time or a lot of resources. So calculate your threats as a business decision. Which has the highest return? Acting or not acting? And yeah, you might get sued and lose a couple of $1 million 5 years later, but if you don't act, you might cost the company $10 million or $100 million. So social media was a great example. When that came out, everyone was saying we might get sued, we might get into trouble, but it was the wrong decision. It was the sky has fallen. The answer is no, everyone's going to use social media. Yeah, it has some problems, but the value way far overcomes the potential loss. Let's make decisions fast. Fast decisions have a risk percentage, have a dollar cost associated with them. But don't just say, oh, the world's coming to an end. Say when it's going to come to an end, how much it's likely to cost. And sometimes in HR, like for example, we might get sued for negligent hiring. You know, I found 2 cases in the history of the world of negligent hiring, both of which cost a pittance amount of money. So when you say we might get sued, the answer is no, we aren't. The odds of getting sued are almost zero. The odds of the compliance agency who have 3 people on staff doing investigation is almost zero. The cost is minuscule compared to the return. And last, your job in HR is not to cry something you know nothing about. You're not a lawyer. Don't say you might get sued. Instead say, let's find a way to get the manager what they want. So if a manager wants to do something that appears on the surface to be illegal, instead of screaming, oh, it's illegal, you might get sued, say, let's find a way around it. Let's sit down with the attorneys, let's find a way around the law. And the rest of the business, the fact that something is illegal doesn't stop them. It just gets their lawyers to work to say what they would call a loophole, but we just call it a workaround. Is there a way to get around this possibility? Can we quantify the risk? Is it a reasonable risk? We take reasonable risk in the marketplace all the time. Let's learn in HR to take reasonable risk when it comes to legal or compliance issue. Stop screaming something until you know with data, facts, probabilities, the likelihood, how much it's going to cost us, and which costs us more, not acting or acting. Globally, you know, risk laws are not the same around the world. Laws are not the same around the world. So when you say it's illegal in the United States, well then hire them outside the United States. There's no reason to use the highest laws to make your decisions. And I know Jack Welch at GE said, we've learned how to fire people around the world. It's not easy in other places, but it can be done. So get in the mode of, we help you find a way to do what you want to do, Mr. and Miss Manager. That's our job. We're not here to cry wolf.